Introduce yourself, say where you did your co-op or internship, what year program you're in. You can start with Kandar.
Good morning. My name is Kandar Gandhi. I'm a fourth year electrical engineer, and I did my internship at Hydro One and a co-op in India.
Hey, my name is Patrick. I'm fourth year software engineering. I've done 2 co-op/internships. My first one was at Honda, and my recent one was at RBC.
My name is Stephanie, and I am a fourth year mechanical mechatronics option student, and I just finished an internship at OPG.
My name is Julia. I'm a fourth year nuclear engineering student, and
Alrighty, thank you guys. So I'm just going to ask a couple guiding questions. So first we'll start with Kandar. So you decided to do a January start internship at Hydro One. So can you tell us a bit why you decided to go out early and a little bit more details about your experience?
So I was definitely looking for internships, and there's always competition trying to get in which companies, and everybody prefers to go out in May and not stop in the middle of the semester. So I decided to take the leap and give it a try and say, let's start a January internship. It lowers a little bit of the competition, but still making sure that I'll be lined up on my project program map. So when I do come back, I will not have to miss it. Really well. I worked in the project engineering department, and it definitely gives you that industry experience rather than sitting in a lecture and reading a textbook. Yeah, I physically got to see what I've learned. Physically got to apply the theoretical knowledge that we learn in class, and you definitely get the hands-on experience, and you're not treated as a co-op. From my perspective, I was treated as an employee of Hydro One, and I was given all the benefit of the doubt, and it was a great experience overall.
Great, thanks. So in addition to his internship at Hydro One, this past summer, Kandar also did a research co-op over in India. So can you tell us, would you recommend an experience like this going internationally, and how did you find that research co-op position?
I am interested in further academia, and one of my goals was to find and do research over the summer. One of the programs here in the university, we call it NSERC. So through that, I found that there's other research co-ops that are available with the international department of UOIT, and you can go all over the world and do research at different schools, different universities that are partnered with UOIT. And so I took the leap, and I wanted to take this international experience, and I definitely recommend doing an international co-op, if research-wise or otherwise. You get to learn a bit about their culture and while you're working on your projects, but it definitely comes in handy, and you definitely get to see the other side, because not everywhere the things are done the same way.
All right, great, thank you. So now we're going to move on to Patrick. So Patrick's a fourth year software engineering student. He has a very interesting academic history here. He started in automotive engineering, and after second year, he went out on an internship at Honda, and then he decided to change his program to software engineering. So can you just give us a bit of a description of how going out in an internship made you change your mind about your career path?
Yeah, sure. So what you learn in school is a lot of like theoretical stuff, and it all sounds really cool. But then when you get into industry, I specifically went to like the automotive manufacturing sector, and it's a lot different, the stuff that you do. So I kind of got to see the reality of what I'd be doing if I graduated in automotive, and I kind of want to be more at the forefront of technology. So that's kind of why I switched into software, because it's more on the cutting edge side of what was going on. Currently, I didn't want to literally be reinventing the wheel.
All right, great. So once he switched over to software, he decided in January of his third year to go out on a co-op at RBC. So he's come back now as our RBC ambassador. I'm not sure if you've heard about him, but definitely if you're interested in RBC, make sure you talk to Patrick. So can you share how in your new ambassador role you can assist and connect students to a co-op experience at RBC?
Yeah, so you guys could set up like coffee chats with me or send me emails. I can give you more information about positions that we offer. Also connect you with people at RBC if you're interested. Yeah, we have an event going on next week, Wednesday at UL6 between 12 and 1, where it will be basically an information session / networking with me and the other RBC ambassador.
All right, great, thank you. So Stephanie, as she mentioned, she's a fourth-year mechatronics engineering student. She's our only student panelist that didn't actually participate in the reverse career fair, but she has done an internship, so her case is a little interesting as well. Most of you know Ann Colby. She actually had to convince Stephanie to do an internship. So can you talk about your hesitations to join the program and what you would say to encourage students to participate?
So I was in third year, I was on the edge if I wanted to do an internship. At one point I wanted to, and then I wasn't so sure, and then I decided probably about January that I just wanted to do a co-op, get school done, because I also had found a really good group of other students to work with for capstone and other projects. I found out some of those people were going on internships, so that helped me a little bit, saying, okay, I'll know at least a couple other students and to work with in fourth year. I also wasn't sure that if I did go on an internship, what it would be like coming back. What it helped me was to talk to other students that had gone on internships. And I'm really glad that I did go on the internship. It boosted my confidence a lot. Sometimes I play down what I do, what I'm involved in, what I do, or some of the activities that I help out with, or my participation in a group. And one of the teams that I worked on, or special projects I worked on at OPG, really ended up helping to enforce that even if it might be a small thing for me, it could be really large and really beneficial for the larger team. So they made sure I knew that, and that is one of the biggest things I took out from this internship, along with the work experience, is I can, even though it's small for me, it's big for others, so I would encourage everyone to try for an internship. Yes, it's hard. There is a slight adjustment coming back, but I found it hasn't been super hard to come back into school. Of course, there's different things I've had to adjust with, but it really ended up helping me and was an amazing experience. So.
Great, thanks. So as she said, a lot of hesitations for third year students going out is you've already got your capstone group you're trying to already figure out, you've got your close friends that you know would be a good group for you. So this is an opportunity for you all to encourage and help your capstone group all go out for a year at the same time, so you can all come back at the same time, because really that work experience will really help you in your future career. So consider that. Don't make capstone the major stumbling block. Just encourage your friends in your group that you want to all try and get an internship. So Julia, she's a fourth year nuclear engineering student. So she chose to move to Ottawa to work for CNSC. It's a great internship, but some of you may or may not know that pay rate at CNSC is much lower than, for instance, at OPG. So how did you reach the decision to choose this experience over the financial reward of potentially going to OPG? What was your experience like, and what advice do you have to students about the success you had?
Okay, first things first, hands up who's a nuclear engineer in engineering. Oh yeah, FES, and that's how you spell the best. Alright. Okay, so at the CNSC you do get paid less, but I got paid $21 an hour. My friends at OPG paid like $33 an hour. So it does seem like it does seem like a lot, but I wasn't living in poverty. I lived very nicely in Ottawa. Not only that, you get to go on a bunch of trips, trips, like my friend went to Japan and went to England, all paid for, by the way, for a total of 3 weeks of just trip time. I got to go to 4 different locations, 3 different events. I got to go to New Brunswick, all that's paid for. A lot, like 80% of the co-op students get trips paid for, which is a very nice thing to get. Secondly, what you don't get in money, you make up in experience. At OPG, I don't think you don't get swapped around, do you?
No.
So at the CNSC, you can do 4 or 3 rotations in a new division. So you get 3 or 4 opportunities to meet new bosses, which means new references on your resume. So if you mess up with one boss, good thing is there's other ones you can put down. And you generally get a pulse of the industry when you switch to different departments. Not only that, you get to meet executive staff at companies like OPG. I think I met more OPG staff, like executive staff, like the vice president, more than people that worked at OPG. That's just because he gets sent to a lot of events. So my advice to you is don't worry about the money so much. Like, it's only 15 months. It doesn't matter if you come out like 2,000 ahead of your friends. It's only 15 months, and it's really about getting the experience. And that's why I think the CNFC is the best, because you get 4 more chances to get experience with 4 new groups.
Great. And is there anything you want to share about what came out of that internship experience?
I got a job.
She got a job offer, like coming back to 4th year now. She's already got a job offer in hand for when she graduates.
A lot of my friends got job offers. So if you want to get a job offer, go to the CNFC. They're hiring.
Go to what works for you, but just a note, there are different opportunities, so don't always just look at pay rate. You got to look at the whole package. Some people might not be in a position where they can move away to Ottawa, so OPG is a great option. But
they pay for the moving, by the way. You get paid for the trucks that go up there and the gas. So don't think about like, oh, when I move to Ottawa, it's going to cost so much to move. They pay you to do it. So just something to keep in mind.
All right, great, thank you. So that's the individual questions about their experiences, but now I'm going to ask the 3 of them, Kandar, Patrick, and Julia, who have participated in the Reverse Career Fair before, just to talk about their experience. What kind of display did they bring? Because I know that's a big concern for a lot of you, what to bring the day of, and what advice do you have for the students? So we can take it away, any of you.
So before attending the Reverse Career Fair, I had been applying for jobs, but I still hadn't gotten any interviews. So first time doing the Reverse Career Fair, it was slightly terrifying, but as soon as I got in there, 5 minutes in, and seeing all these employers walking in, HR, and like you would never get that experience just by sitting behind a computer and sending their resume and cover letter on the website. So it's a really great experience to come and meet the employers. You get to talk with them, you get to figure out what they're looking for, and on top of that, you can bring whatever you want. And so I decided when I went to the Reverse Career Fair, I was also struggling, like what should I bring? So first I just ended up bringing one of my projects that I've done for my courses, and then once I was there, we just have to get them to start talking. So once they're interested in your project, then you get to start talking. You start talking about their company, and based on what I learned, you should definitely research the companies that you're interested in, and even the companies that you're slightly not interested in, because you never know what might work out. They might be looking for somebody or someone, and they just happen to come by your desk, and you never know, right? So definitely research the companies, know what they're doing, and they really like the fact that you've taken that one more step, and this gives you the chance, instead of you going out and talking to employers, you're standing at the booth and the employers are coming to you.
Great.
To add to that, just put yourself in like the employer's shoes and make it easy for them to come up and talk to you. If you have nothing, it makes it really challenging, and also kind of tailor to what you want. So I'm looking for like a position with self-driving vehicles. So I showed a project which had computer vision, and then someone who's specialized in computer vision kind of saw that, and then he approached me, and he didn't approach very many people during that fair. So you kind of want to also try to tailor it to who you're looking for, and then just take their cards and connect with them. So like try to start conversations, keep up to date with them, because when they have a position, you'll be the first one they think of. Rather than posting on their job board or whatever, they're going to be like, oh, XYZ person at the career fair, I'll send them an email, see if they're available. But yeah, definitely bring something. Like my first career fair, I didn't bring anything, and it was just like you're trying to push yourself onto them, but if you have something, they'll come to you.
And can you just talk a little bit, I know you're passionate about LinkedIn, so what LinkedIn helps you, how you connect with employers on LinkedIn?
So LinkedIn is basically your resume online, 24/7 instant access. Make sure you develop it and put some time into it. I've been developing mine a lot, and you could meet various people. So like I have my resume on there, I have all my work experience, I have my volunteer experience, like the courses I'm taking. I'm also putting out like articles on LinkedIn, which helps get people viewing your page. It's really good for just like finding someone at a company. You send them a message like, hey, I'm interested in what you do, let's meet up for a coffee. Meet up for a coffee, you start talking, you get the ball rolling, and that they connect you to their manager, and then next thing you know, you're having an interview and you pass the whole application process. And I've had a lot of those conversations, and as I'm graduating next year, and like I have kind of a lot of leads from that.
Great. All right, Julia, your experience.
So for the board, me and my friend had a shared board, like you know those big boards you get for the science fair? We had a shared board, and me and her also had a personal little board, but on the shared board, what we had was like the courses we've taken and the tools we use in the courses, but we also had a lot of personal things on there. Like me and my friend, we like to go to Fan Expo a lot, so we had a picture of me and her with George Takei, and pro tip, a lot of people in nuclear like Star Trek. So people came over to our booth just to go, you got a picture with George Takei? Like, yes. Just something to start the conversation. We also had a lot of personal, like creative things we brought. Like my friend brought in a sculpture she made in art class once. I brought in a computer program I made that was unrelated to school, but it still showed I could program. And just having a bunch of cool creative stuff that bring them closer to get that conversation started. And they also love it when you can say, where did you work? And they'll be like, oh, I worked at AMEC. And then you can say, oh, I heard about your construction project in Ajax. And they go, you know about the construction project? So like have a little cue card of all the companies that are going to be coming. I think you get a list of who's coming. Highlight the ones that you want to potentially apply for, and then have a document of information just specific to them, so you can bring it up when they come to you, so it seems like you know what you're talking about with their company. Also, don't try to focus. It's good to focus on school, like, hey, I have really good marks in school, this is what I did, but they're also going to work with you, so try to sell yourself in like, what am I trying to say?
Your personality.
Try to sell your personality. Make it seem like you're fun and approachable, and that'll keep them talking too. I remember I was talking with some girl, HR girl at the CNSC, and I was like, oh, I played the piano. She's like, oh, I played the piano too, and we're talking about playing piano. And at the end, she's like, you know what? Go on to the CNSC website, click this apply button, and you see this list right here? That's the questions we're going to ask you in the interview. So she gave me the answers to the interview just because I talked to her about piano. So don't feel like you just have to focus on your school alone. Try to bring in other aspects from your life so you can present that side of it too.
Yeah, so I think we've got some great tips. I'd say number one, importance, make sure, so on the same website that you guys registered for the Reverse Career Fair, there's a little tab on the left-hand side that says guidebook. That's continually being updated as companies register. So make sure you do go to that guidebook. Look under your program section and whether you're looking for co-op and internship. And if they have a check mark there, make sure you're researching those companies because those are the companies that are going to be coming to your section in the gym to talk to you. So it always looks good if you are aware of their company, what kind of work they do. That's what you're going to want to talk to the employers about. And as they've said, it's not all about your academics. Grades are great and what you've learned is great, but bring a little bit of your personality into it too. So yeah, I think unless you guys have anything else to say, we can open it up to questions.